All right, all right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Eric F. King here. Happy Wealth Wednesday, and welcome to Wake Up and Win with Eric and Friends. I am so excited today because of my special guest speaker, a lady that knows a lot about the financial industry, and I'm going to give her an appropriate introduction in a few minutes. But Leah, if you can just, all the way from California, if you can just say a few words to the group.
Happy Wealth Wednesday, Eric, coming to you from Monterey, California. It is 4 a.m. here, and you know what? Champions rise up at 4 a.m.
Awesome, awesome. Absolutely. We appreciate you. How many people do you know that wake up at 4 a.m., right? Like to share value. You see, that's the kind of person I have here today. She is an extraordinary woman and someone I get advice from, and you should too. So we're going to get to her in a few minutes. So today, I want to talk about your finances, but in a different, maybe a different light from Leah, right? It's going to be based on my background and what I've done in my life, all right? So if you don't know what I do, I'm a sales and leadership coach. So I help entrepreneurs triple their sales and boost their income without being pushy or salesy. And I come across a lot of people in my courses and coaching that feel that their background has something to do with how much money they make today, okay? And so I start with money mindset. So I'll give an example. So I had a client once who told me that it's hard for her to make up to $50,000 a year, right? When she gets to around October, November, she starts, sabotaging herself and stops following up, stops setting appointments. So at the end of the year, she ends up making maybe $47,000, $48,000 a year. So what I found out later was, after asking her a series of questions, is that she has always been around people that don't make more than $50,000. Like her mom never made more than $50,000. Her dad never made more than $50,000. Her uncles and aunts and all the people she looks up to never made more than $50,000. Even though she was in an industry where people are making multiple six figures. So I had to help her change her mindset around money, her money mindset. And then in 6 months, she made over six figures in 6 months, right? She just needed that tweak. So I just want you to know that your background, right, has nothing to do with your financial future. Nothing to do with your financial future, all right? All right, so that's number one. Number two, I want to talk about not taking advice from the wrong person. Don't take advice from the wrong person. All right. So a lot of times we take advice from people that we look up to, people that we trust, right? Like our parents, or maybe parents' friends, or people that we grow up with, and we trust them and we respect them. But when it comes to your finances, you only take advice from people who have what you want, right? Don't take advice from someone that doesn't have what you want, right? I'll give an example. So if your goal is to make $500,000 a year, and that's your goal, and then you want to do that to help your family, to travel, whatever you want to do, and your dad, for instance, or your mom makes $50,000 a year, and you have this great business idea that you want to put in place, and you ask your dad and your mom, what do you think? And they say something like, well, you never done that before, or in our family, we don't really do that, right? And then they say, well, instead of doing all that, why don't you just get another degree? Or why don't you just apply for a raise, right? Well, those kinds of mentality is not the mentality of the rich, of the wealthy, right? So you can't listen to them with regards to your finances, or you will be where they are, right? So even though you have a lot of respect for them, that's great. But you don't take advice from them regarding making money, because you won't make more than they make, because they don't know better. They don't know any better, right? So and it could be hard because you love them and you respect them. But here's my advice to you. Find a mentor that makes what you want to make. Go out and make that money. Go out and make that money. come back and help your parents, help your family, help your children, help your grandparents, help all these people that need you, right? They're counting on you. But you'll never get there if you listen to the wrong advice. All right. Last thing I want to tell you is in America here, we have a presidential elections coming up next year. All right. And the media gives us this impression that the person in the White House, which is the president, determines our financial future, right? Whether the economy is going to be thriving or the economy is going to die or there's going to be a recession or whatever. Here's what I want to tell you, and this can help you for the rest of your life. The person that determines your financial future is you. It's not the president. It's not the senators. It's not the governors. It's not the judges. It's you. All right? When you feel that the president or someone in power determines your future, you have taken all power away from yourself. You have given the power to them, right? And now you're just looking for them to help you. Oh, I just wish the president can bail us out again. I just wish, they can reduce the interest rate so I can buy a house finally. And you have no control over your financial future, right? Regardless of the position of the economy, you determine your own financial economy in your family. And I'm sure Leah will give us more info about that. You determine your financial future. For the last, 10 years or so, my income has been going up and up and up and up based on my vision, based on my work ethic, based on the businesses I run, based on the people I help, based on the associations I keep, based on the books I read. It had nothing to do with Obama, had nothing to do with Trump, had nothing to do with Bush. It had nothing to do with anybody in the White House, has nothing to do with any of my governors, has nothing to do with anybody but me, right? So I want you to internalize that and stop giving your power to everybody. You have the power to change your financial future, and people are counting on you. It could be your spouse, it could be your kids, it could be your parents, it could be your grandparents, it could be your best friend from a high school. People are counting on you, so don't give it the excuse that, well, it's my background, or it's my president, or it's this or that. All right. So that's what I want to share with you. And now I want to go to the financial guru, a woman that has she has been in this industry for over 17 years, so she knows what she's talking about. People will see this video from all over the world, and definitely don't just watch it, but share it. Share it on all social media so people can see this, because she knows what she's talking about. So Leah Garcia from California, financial expert, take it away.
Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate the time, and you are truly such a treasure. You have so much value. You bring so much value. You share so much free content, and what I love is that you are so humble. You are one of the most humble people that I know. So knowledgeable. I love what you said. Your past does not equal your future. Just because, people say, oh, well, this is, our family's always been this way. Well, guess what? In every family, there's a one. In every family, there's a one that breaks that curse. And you know what? If you're on this call, if you're listening to this message, you're the one in your family. You are the one. And you're right, Eric. People are watching us. You won't even believe or even imagine the people that are watching you right now. If you're on this call, you're a champion. You are worthy. So I love that. Oh, my gosh, there was so many golden nuggets. I love what you said. So what I'm going to share is just so on point with what you're saying. We're going to talk about, how to start to take control of your household finances. And I'm going to give you three quick tips that you can use right now today to make some changes. So first I'm going to say this you know what? Debt is debt. I know I might have some Grant Cardone fans on here talking about leverage and all of that, and that's all sexy and wonderful, but at the foundation, you still have to have your financial foundation in place. And then we can talk about the other things. So debt is debt. I mean, even the word mortgage, I think it's like a dead pledge or something like that, right? So what do we do about this debt? Because we have it, most of us have it. What do we do with that? First thing is we have to turn towards our money. We have to manage our expenses. Now, I'm not going to be talking to you about that word budget. I know all of you are probably like, "Oh no, she's talking about the budget. We don't want the budget." That's not exactly what I'm talking about. Is we have to have a spending plan. Is how I think of it. Because running our household is just like running a business. We bring in money and money goes out. So I'm not from this mindset of, sell your car, burn your furniture, starve your kids. I don't believe in that because scared money doesn't make money. What I say is just be aware of what you're spending. And in fact, Jake Ducey talks about a spending budget, like literally have an amount of money that you put every month, and that is your splurge account. It's not meant to save. Don't use anything don't do anything that is practical. No, this is a splurge account where you go and you reward yourself. At the same time, we have to track our expenses. We have to see what we're spending, what comes in and what comes out, because what we track expands. If we intend to increase our net worth, we have to track it, right? We have to track it and bring awareness to this. I had a client, we did a financial review with them, and, usually it doesn't come out exactly. There's always some leakage somewhere. Well, with this particular household, there was like $1,000 that they could not account for. And they were looking through things. I said, okay, bring out the bank statement. Let's look at it. And it turned out that the wife was taking out over $1,000 a month at the ATM, $20 here, $50 there, $100 there. Oh, that's just a few dollars when we're going to go out to have some dinner, right? No big deal. But at the end of the month, it was over $1,000. So it's just bringing the awareness to it. I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot spend your money on. You're working hard. You're making your money. You're going to make those decisions. But when you bring the awareness, that's when you can decide, is this wise or unwise? I never say good or bad because it's up to you. So that's number one, is be aware of your money. Track your money. Number two, second tip is, people always ask me, Leah, what do I do? Do I pay down my debt, or do I invest and save for retirement? You know what my answer is? Both. You got to do both. Spending is a habit, but also saving and investing, we also have to create that habit as well. So if you're going to wait or think you're going to wait to start investing and saving until you pay off your debt, you are kidding yourself, because you can never get back that time. There's something that's called compound interest. You can never replace that. So you absolutely have to start, even if it's $1, $5, $10. Start somewhere. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is building the habit and embracing that you're not coming from scarcity, because scared money doesn't make money. You have to live out of abundance even when you don't have, right? Even when you don't have. I have clients who start with, I just helped a little 26-year-old, oh my gosh, 26 years old. He's like, I only have $50 to start with. I said, you know what? That's perfect. Let's start there. Start somewhere, but be consistent. Number three, and you guys have all heard this tip, but I'm going to really break this down for you. This third tip to me is so gold that you guys should be writing me a check right now. That's how gold it's okay. It is pay yourself first. And I know, you've all heard it before, but I'm going to break it down a little bit. If you want to be broke, you know what? Don't pay yourself first. Spend everything you make. keep telling yourself someday. If you want to be middle class, pay yourself first 10% of your income. If you want to be wealthy, pay yourself first 20% or more of your income. And you might think, well, you know what that sounds like? What is that going to do? It's not really that much money. Well, let me share something with you. I helped a family probably about 10 years ago, maybe more, 10 years ago. Loopy and Mary. When I met them, they were already retired. They had gotten married when they were 14 and 17 years old. They were farm workers working, picking melons and strawberries and artichokes out in the field. They maybe made $40,000 a year between the both of them. When I met them, they had 2 homes completely paid off, over $500,000 in their retirement accounts, and thousands of dollars in their savings account. No debt, no credit cards, no student loans, no car notes. And I was amazed. I said, I just asked him. And now, Mary, let me share with you, Mary barely had a second grade education. But this is one of the wisest, most intelligent women I've ever met. I asked her, I said, Mary, this is incredible what you folks have done here. I've met families with making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, then they don't have these kind of assets. How did you guys do this? She goes, you know what, Leah? Every month we were paying our bills and we were working so hard, and I just decided, you know what? If I'm going to pay all these bills and all these creditors, I'm going to pay myself too. I'm going to pay myself first. And we started with just $50 a month, and then I started putting 10%, and then 20%. We got to the point where over 20% of our money was going to pay ourselves first. And they did this for year after year after year after year. I met them totally financially independent. So think about it this way. We can do anything if we do it consistently. You can learn anything. We can master anything if we do it consistently. That's the key. Because even a dripping faucet, if there's a dripping faucet dripping on a stone, right, and it's just dripping. If you left it for a day and you come back, you don't see anything. There's no change. And if you did that for a week or a month, but you know what happens after a year or 5 years or 10 years? That water can crack that stone. In fact, that water can break that stone. It's consistency, being consistent, having the courage to take the first step and start paying yourself. And, because see, here's the thing. Everybody wants to get rich quick. Everybody wants to find that new thing, that hot stock, that angel investment, that inside information. But nobody wants to get wealthy over time. Let's get wealthy slowly. You can still do the other things. I'm not saying not to do that. And I'm not saying not to leverage your money. But what I'm saying is have your financial foundation in place. And then from there, we can go ahead and do the other things. So if this resonates with you and you're ready to take that first step, I would be honored to offer you a free financial plan, no cost, no obligation, totally free of charge. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with you further. And that's all I have. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate the opportunity, Eric. And we'll see you all at the top because we know it's way too crowded at the bottom.
That's right, Leah. It is. Thank you so much. I wrote almost a page worth of notes in 10 minutes. We see people in the comments that are clapping for you. So I appreciate you for coming here today. And again, folks, if you're watching this right now, share this with as many people as you can. These are golden nuggets. She talked about saving. She talked about investing. She talked about being consistent. She talked about paying yourself first. These are things that a lot of us don't do, or we know about it and we don't do it. Have you ever been to a training where you're like, oh, I heard that before, but do you do it? Right? I pay myself, but I didn't pay myself up to 20%. Now I know it's 20% I need to pay myself. right? So that is awesome, Leah. Thank you so much. And yeah, like she said, connect with her, okay? Connect with her on LinkedIn. Get that free financial advice. Why not, right? She's one of my advisors. Let her be your advisor. All right, so we're gonna be done here in a second. Real quick, I did want to mention that on September 20th, I am doing a special masterclass. Okay, Sell with Confidence Masterclass, something I've never done before because it's actually in a studio. Have you ever been to an Anthony Robbins event or those events that have the big screens and the big Zoom life-size screens? That's where I'm going. It's going to be in North Carolina. I'm excited about this. September 20th. It's for at least about 2 hours. It starts at 12 noon Eastern time. All right, and I'm inviting you to be a part of my audience because what's going to happen is I'm taking this video I'm doing, right, and I'm creating a course which people will buy. You get it for free if you show up, right? You're going to be there live. I'm going to teach you everything I know for the past 25 years of sales. I've sold over $30 million worth of products and services, and I'm going to show you how I did it, all right? So we're going to talk about building your confidence. We're going to talk about making an offer. We're going to talk about overcoming objections. We're going to talk about closing the sale, all of that. September 20th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to successwitheric.com/summit. successwitheric.com/summit. I'm excited to share this with you. And by the way, this will help you up-level your finances, right? It's in line with what we're talking about today, right? It's one thing you want to save, right? You want to invest, but you want to have money to invest. If you have that skill to sell more, then you have the money to invest, all right? So I'm going to close it out here. Again, appreciate you being on. Share this with as many people as you can. Thank you, Leah, for being here. And make sure you join us every morning, Monday through Friday. Monday, we're in an audio room. Tuesday to Friday, we're right here. And for Wake Up and Win with Eric and Friends. Thanks for being on, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.